Welcome to this new video about Gran Turismo 7. This morning, August 28, 2025, a game update added 4 new cars including 2 Corvette Vision Gran Turismo models. Also, the Afeela, Sony's electric car, is included, likely why it was added to the game. And then there's the Renault Avantime, which is probably, for us French-speaking players, the most interesting car in the update. The rest, honestly, well, the Vision Gran Turismo cars. I think the community doesn't really care about them overall. And then the electric cars too. So we started with a little upgrade test of the Renault Avantime. Available at the used car market. They don't cost very much. I think you can find it for around 40,000 credits. A V6 3.0 version with 210 horsepower for 1,700 QE was added to the game. This car is still a beast and quite heavy. The performance is moderate. 0 to 100 in 8.5 seconds and a top speed of about 215 km/h. Which is pretty good for a minivan, but not that impressive for a coupe. And that's exactly the crazy thing about this Avantime. What makes it a bit unique is, it's one of the only, maybe even the only, coupe minivans in the world, which, as a result, checks almost all the boxes. Let's say all the negative points of both categories, minivan and coupe, so it's neither very high-performing nor very practical. So, well, there you go, it's a somewhat unique vehicle. Now, in France, I think overall it's actually quite appreciated. It's a weird, unique side overall. We like it, but I'm unsure how people abroad feel. I'm not really sure what, for example, Americans think about the update. They're probably disappointed, since we don't care much about Grand Touring cars, and people in the United States aren't interested in French cars either. So we'll see. Anyway, there you go. This is the original Avantime, which we'll upgrade later. The good thing is that it's already swappable in the game. We can install another engine, but I haven't checked which one yet. Maybe we'll get a big surprise, maybe even the Chiron's W16, which would be funny. I'll also show some of the inside of this Avantime. I don't know, you can tell me what you think about it in the comments. But that era of Renault, with the speedometers in the center, with the interface like that, I think it's the worst era of Renault. In terms of the interior, it wasn't modern enough for the time to be futuristic. It has aged badly. On the other hand, it's too retro and odd to capture the retro vibe of cars. It's just really weird, like from the 80s and 90s. So there you go. But as for the rest, apparently it's a car that is actually quite comfortable, but it ages pretty badly. Especially because of the panoramic roof, which is huge. And apparently the seals, I think the roof fastenings age badly. So by 2020 to 2025, cars that haven't been well maintained often develop leaks, letting water run inside. That's clearly a real pleasure for the owners. So, listen, I suggest we go improve it. Let's take a look at what's available on it. I think we'll go straight to the big upgrades, everything related to the bodywork, wide and all that. That way it'll be done, and maybe we can turn it into a race car. Maybe we can make it at least a little bit effective. Also, the car isn't bad to drive. Basically, 200 horsepower isn't super impressive, but it gets the job done. We easily hit 220 the top speed. In the corners, you can tell it's a tall, heavy car. There's a bit of body roll, but I think that's going to be pretty easy to fix with the settings in the game. Since it'll be a bit tall and we can't change that, it won't necessarily be a dud. Oh wow, this kit is so ugly. What a mess. Oh, it looks like the level 1 or level 2 kits from Need for Speed Underground back in the day. Oh, it's... I don't have the right adjective to use after that, it's weird. With these upgrades, we have 500 horsepower for 1,200 kilos, and the vehicle remains easily upgradable. There are many parts available, including ultimate and competition-grade options. So, 500 horsepower in 1,200 kilos is already more interesting. Well, let's make many people's dreams come true here. We're taking the little Avantime to the NURB to see what it's like. We probably won't drive the entire track. It's mainly to see how the car handles. It's really fun, especially with cars and tracks like these. So, what's pretty unrealistic though, is that the gauges from that era didn't update like this at all. It wasn't this smooth. They updated, you know, kind of slowly. 3 by 3 kilometers per hour. It was kind of laggy. Here, it's really weird to see this riding so smooth like that. It's actually very fast. The coolest part is the base 3-liter V6. It's super quiet and made no noise. Whereas now, you barely get the feeling of having a V6, I would almost say. Like a GTR if I'm exaggerating a bit. And it's not bad. It's not bad to drive. So maybe you should adjust the aero parts and all that a bit to get a little more out of it. Body roll has been mostly fixed. It's much lower, stiffer, and honestly, it's fine. It's not monstrous, but we can still take good corners at decent speeds. It's not much. The Renault F1 from Gran Turismo 7. The Renault Espace F1 from Gran Turismo 7. By the way, you never know, since right now they're in a phase where they're bringing back old stuff. This car was already available in older Gran Turismo games, like Gran Turismo 4, which, by the way, also focuses a bit on French cars. Right now, with every update, there's a French car being added, at least often with things that are a bit, how should I say, iconic or a bit strange. It would be great to see the Espace F1 as it's likely the most requested French vehicle. And it's a vehicle we already had back in the days of Gran Turismo 2. If I'm not mistaken, you can easily hit 300 with the Avantime anyway. But, on the other hand, there's something about the Espace F1. I think there's only one of them in the world. It must be in France, at the Matra Museum, in Romorantin. I'm not sure it's easy for Sony to go to Romorantin to remodel that. And I think that's it. Photo modeling works well, but in Gran Turismo, they really model the cars in such detail that they really need access to everything. You can see all the buttons here, but they're not well placed on the car's controls and dashboard. Everything is modeled very precisely. But look at the Avantime. At first glance, it doesn't seem that bad, right? It's a bit sluggish, but it's okay here. All right, now we're going to do the real thing, which means we're going to check out the swap. I saw it was a swap at 325,000. Is it, by any chance, a GTR swap? Just by chance? What is this thing? GTIVGT. Oh, that's something from Vision Gran Turismo. What is this thing? I see, there's no engine displacement. What the heck is this mess? That gives us 550 horsepower for 1,100 kilos. What is this? Swap? So, let's see. I have the impression. So maybe I should take another look at the engines in the game. But I think it's the first time I've seen this swap on the Avantime. Well, in the game at all. I don't know where it comes from. I'll check online, I'll look it up while editing this video, and I'll show it to you. But, it's still a combustion engine since I see it has upgradable combustion parts like, well, nitro for example, but especially I saw turbo and all that, so it's not an electric engine. What is this? 800 horsepower. Okay, that's powerful. I researched it. The engine that's swappable in this car, I think it's an engine from Volkswagen. It must be the engine from the Grand Touring Injection Supersport Vision Gran Turismo. It has the same power, it has the same name, so I think that's it. And so, it's really weird, because usually, there's at least some logic to the swaps in this game. It's either a reference, a strange dream, or a hacker. With the brands, I don't see how Volkswagen allowed it. Unless I'm mistaken, it could be another engine, maybe from Renault, Vision Gran Turismo, or another car. But if it's the engine from the I wonder how they managed to do that, or get permission. They put Volkswagen engines in some advantages. Why do they think you're crazy? I don't know what kind of engine that is. But it makes a really aggressive sound, almost unique in the game. I don't hear any other cars make that sound. Let's do a quick speed run. I think it should nearly reach 400. Actually, the front end like this, let's try to catch a bit of slipstream, just to see if it helps. It's burning out a bit. So also, I think one of the unique features of the Avantime actually is what makes it kind of semi-crazy. I think it's front-wheel drive. We'd need to check, but I don't think this... It's rear-wheel drive. I'm a bit unsure and think it isn't. It's all-wheel drive, but I think it's front-wheel drive. We'll check the menus later, but that could explain why accelerating too much in corners causes burnout, especially with front-wheel drive. It handles 500 horsepower well. But that also explains a bit the limits in terms of performance and the behavior. Sometimes a bit weird. Overall, it's cool and fairly fast, but not a total speed monster. The car has a lot of downforce thanks to its extreme aero kit. I'm not sure how to even categorize it, especially in endurance mode. It grips really well. Well in corners. It has good acceleration, but it does run out of steam a bit quickly though. Actually, even with this swap. So overall, it's a good little car. I think you can use it in career mode without too much trouble. It may not be meta or the most overpowered new car, but it's still pretty cool. It's really fun having an Avantime in a game, one of those automotive oddities that have vanished. Personally, I think it's cool. So let me know in the comments what you think overall about this update. We'll also test the 2,000 horsepower Corvette to see if we can work with it. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'm counting on you to show it by leaving a like and subscribing as usual, by following me on Twitch for the next live streams, knowing that next week we're going to do a bit of multiplayer. So, feel free to follow the link in the pinned comment. Stop by, follow, and subscribe with Prime. Alright, well, listen. I'll see you tomorrow for a new video. See you soon. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow for a new video. See you soon. Bye.